So after watching the team's rise over the past couple of games under Clement, we can't help but think, does it look like a new star's been born at Rangers? But Kieran will talk more about that towards the end of the video. Coming out the gates, I think we started the first half unbelievably well. There was plenty of energy, there was an intensity about it, there was a desire to press the ball really, really high and try and keep Sparta Prague in their own half for as much of the game as humanly possible. We've seen in previous games that the trigger for the press almost had to be blatantly obvious before we'd start to push up the pitch, but this doesn't really seem a problem for us anymore. Obviously, a common theme in previous games was that kind of slack passing, but in that first half there wasn't really anything to grumble at. I think a massive factor that I've spoke about in a lot of previous videos was the idea of taking risks throughout a game. You need to take risks in order to give fans the performance that they actually crave. And yet again, I go back to that word obvious. Every time we had the ball, it was almost as if we needed to have an obvious excuse, not only to trigger a press, but also to do things like take a shot on target, play that long diagonal, play that wee through ball, go in that turn, play that killer pass. I think in that first half, every single one of those boxes were ticked. And after the game, I think one of the most important aspects of the Clement era was when Todd Cantwell spoke in an interview post-match. He says that they're feeling a lot fitter. And halfway through a season, it's not really something you'd actually want to hear, but when you have gone through the experience that Rangers fans have gone through under the Beale era, it's a more than welcome comment to make. As we've said before, clearly Clement has extremely high standards when it comes to team fitness and the way he wants the team to play, and again, we can't help but feel that we're actually seeing that on the pitch. In that first half, there wasn't really much to grumble at. There weren't a lot of mistakes made. It kind of seemed like we were looking at a complete polar opposite team that we've been used to, and to be honest, me and Kieran were speaking during the game and we couldn't quite believe that this was the same team that we were grumbling at about a month ago, just right round about that international break, when all fans were completely scunnered and lost all hope in the way we were playing and what Beale was trying to do with the team. I mean, there's players in that team that you would have looked at a month ago and you'd have completely lost hope for. For example, the likes of John Lundstrom, who I think's been absolutely excellent over the past few games. Players as well like Ryan Jack. Borna Barisic has looked a bit more bright, a bit more positive in his play. And yet again, it's good to see some positive aspects of play and positive aspects of progression throughout the new signings that Beale brought in the summer, although none of those signings are completely perfect yet, other than the one that we're going to talk about later on in this video. But again, all we wanted was that continuous, solid, bit by bit progression throughout the season that we're starting to see now under Clement. So that's enough for me. Let's hear what Kieran's got to say about the game, and he'll talk a bit about that star player that we were talking about at the start of the video.
Oh, troops, what a difference a couple of weeks can make. First of all, I've regained my voice. Second of all, I've regained my passion about watching Rangers play. It seems that each next game, I feel like I'm thinking to myself, this is the best we've played this season. This is the best 45 minutes. We can string two halves together now. It's quite incredible what Clement has managed to do in such a short period of time, with basically the same not basically, but the same players at his disposal. It's been incredible, the turnaround. No, the turnaround is not just in quality, it's not just in style, but massively turned around the mentality of these players. They look happy, you see them celebrating after the match tonight, and they're starting to have a real connection with the fans. The likes of your Cantwells, who always did have a connection with the fans, but he just looks more happy on the park, off the park, when he's been questioned after the match. And now, as Andy was alluding to, what about the masked man himself? What a difference Danilo is making for us. He's given us energy, he's given us passion, he's putting his body in the line despite having his fucking skull fractured about 6 weeks ago. This guy's a player, he's sharp, you can tell he's got a bit about him. Dare I say it, you can tell he's got a bit of that Brazilian flair about him. And the guy just seems perpetually happy now that he's getting a run in the team. But like I just touched on, what a crazy difference this has been. Honestly, I couldn't foresee it happening as quick, and like I've said before in some of the videos on X, I don't want to get ahead of myself, but look, we're progressing at a rate that I can tell all the fans are happy with. I mean, talk about identity, right? Over the last 3 or 4 games, I don't recall a passage of play where these players were knocking about from side to side aimlessly. There's this constant wanting to go forward, and like I said a few weeks ago, it's enjoyable to watch. It gets you goals, it helps you defend by attacking, it puts fear into the other team so they can't just stroll up to Ibrox and think, Rangers are just got to keep possession tonight for possession's sake. No, it's not about that. As Andy touched on just there, Clement is demanding, and so he should be. I mean, if it wasn't for him coming in the door, firing all these players into the cryo chambers, where would we be? We'd still be watching that mundane and monotonous football that Michael Beale gave us at the start of the season. I must say, as Andy talked about in his last video actually, it was very noticeable when John Lundstrom was doing a post-match press conference that even the demeanour about him had changed, and I think you can see it on the park as well. I mean, Lundstrom looks like the player he looked like when he was in the top of his game. Ryan Jack, I think, been brought back into the side, has made such a difference. I mean, I was actually saying to Andy during the game tonight, I cannot believe how far forward we're seeing Ryan Jack at times. Even he's looking to get in on the action and score a goal. You seen him take that shot for the edge of the box off the wee cut back, and to be fair, their keeper made a great save, but there is just an overall positivity around about Rangers at the moment. And look, we want the goals, we want the attacking, offensive football, but we also asked for the spirit to be brought back into our club. And you see that in the second half, because it didn't go all our way. Sparta did come back into the game. We did look a bit tired come the end of the match, but players continued to fight for each other, to hunt in packs, something that we never seen over the last couple of months. They look as if they want to do a job first and foremost for themselves, then for the manager, and then to the player in front of them, behind them, to the right and left. I need to say that again because I went like that. In front of them, behind them, to the right and to the left. Fuck. Wow. It's a late night. It's European night. I don't know what's left. I don't know what's right. But I know something. Rangers yet again are leading Scotland's charge in Europe. Yet again the fans show up, Ibrox is rocking, and yet again could it be that we managed to qualify into the group stages of the Europa League?
The knockout stages?
What did I say?
Group.
Fuck. Could it be yet again that we managed to qualify for the knockout stages of the Europa League? I think it's entirely possible. I mean, Limassol come to Ibrox next, and we've got some avenging to do, because that was a real low point. Obviously, Davis was in charge for that game. The club really was in turmoil, so I think when Limassol come back here in the next European game day, then it's time to dish out a beating to a team in green and white before we date to the other lot at the end of the year. So let us know what you think. Let us know your thoughts in tonight's game, where we are at as a club, how you see us progressing. No doubt you'll feel the same as us, and probably how most Rangers fans feel at the moment, that Clement is making a massive difference. We've got a clear sense of style about us. We look more confident. We look and are looking fitter each and every game. Hopefully we can eradicate the injury issues. And look, we've got a striker now. I think that's been vital. We've got a guy up there who wants to get involved, who wants to score goals, who doesn't want to slow the game down. So a star's born right enough. And his name's Danilo.
So what we want you to do as well is jump into the comments, let us know who your man of the match was for tonight, and remember, if you're enjoying the content, like and subscribe. Again, we cannot appreciate enough getting to 1,000 subscribers. Your support has been absolutely outstanding. Also, the BlueSea memberships are there, helps us put a wee bit back into the content. The link to join that is down in the description. next to our socials. So it'd be good to see you over there, and we'll see you next time.